the fourth and final game here of your SFL Super Saturday for Week 10 of the Season 26 regular season takes place here at Renegade Nation Stadium in Oklahoma City, Oklahoma. The Oklahoma City Renegades, 3 weeks removed from their only win of the season against the Lexington Miners, will play host to a 4-3 Anchorage Wolves, trying to chase that 5th win that will put them deep into the playoff hunt as we enter the back third of the season. We've got Mark Lopez and Keith Wheeler on stats tonight, and alongside me in co-commentary is none other than the very familiar voice of Anthony Ellison. Ant, good to be back with you again. How are you going, and what are your keys to the fixture this evening?
Oh, my brother Dick, so glad to be with you here. So the keys to this game right here, Anchorage is going to want to control the clock. Number one rushing offense. You're going to hear me talk about that a lot. Oklahoma City needs to come out with their high passing attack, get some points early, and make Anchorage go to their passing offense, which they don't really want to do. So that's going to be the key. Get points early for OKC.
It's a high-octane passing offense in this Oklahoma City outfit against a very rush-forward Anchorage unit. See which of these two identities will come out on top here this evening. It's the 11th meeting between these two franchises, the first as these two iterations. Of course, Anchorage in their first season with that particular identity, and they will start at their own 28-yard line. They'll be led out by sophomore quarterback Silas Christensen, and this backfield that consists of John Osmosis and Charlie Baker that has been right up there in the league standings in terms of rushing yards per game. But it will start in an empty formation here. Got 4 receivers plus a tight end in Jonathan Kilgore. Will move across the formation here. Oklahoma City in a 4-2 to counter. The drop back by Christensen has plenty of time to throw across, and Eddie's caught. It will be a gain of 7 for the rookie Kevin Parker.
And that's going to be nice for the Wolves to do. So they come out, get you a 5 to 6 yard pass. So now on second down, you know they're going to run the football, but it gives them a better opportunity to get a first down early in the downs.
They got 3 tight ends out there to do so. Osmosis has broken a tackle, and he will get up past the 40-yard line for a first down for the Wolves. The rest of that offense, Richard Powers and Lars Bazaar. The fullbacks, Kevin Parker, Ryan Davis, Bob Wood, Guy Clausen, and Joe Beasley. The receivers, Jonathan Kilgore and Torino Rivera, the 2 tight ends. Offensive line in just a moment. Run up the middle for Baker, and that's going to be an 8-yard pickup. Early work by this offensive liner, Dane Jensen, Bill Ding, Demon Pickle, Kai Pickle, and Landon Onno.
And in that offensive line, we got to look at the Pickle twins right there, the 2 guards. They love to run the ISO up the middle like we just saw with Baker. They're gashing up the middle for big yardage.
Back into a Joker's look. Osmosis is back in the fold. He will get the run up the middle, and that will be a first down. He is all over this early. 2 rushes for him, 1 for Baker, and they've got 2 first downs.
Yeah, so we're going to have to keep an eye on Oklahoma City interior defensive line there. They have to get penetration and stop them from getting to the second level on those blocks.
So let's play to the outside. It's a run for Baker, and she will get up past that far hash mark there and gets the first down. So the rushing attack really on point early.
Yeah, and this is what we expect, a nice little healthy dose. What you're going to see with Baker is going to be more of the slasher, going to break tackles off of spins and whatnot. Osmosis is going to be your bull, is going to try to put the head down and knock over defenders.
Now up past Oklahoma City's 40-yard line. Osmosis will check back in here in a triple formation. Veteran receiver Ryan Davis moves across the face of the formation. It will be a throw from Christensen, and it is incomplete. Tried to get it to the furthest man forward, but there to play out on it was Parker Thomas.
And to find your openings to take advantage of your OKC will be when they pass the football. When you want to try to jump those lanes and try to get an early turnover. That's going to be really cool if you could get that.
So they draw up here. They're back in this triple formation. This time there's no movement at the line. And Osmosis has got heaps of room down the touchline, and he will get inside the 20.
And there you see it. Their offensive line blocked extremely well, but then you have your wide receivers on the outside. Number 82, Guy Clausen. You got Joe Beasley out there. Bob Wood. They're making key blocks on those pitch plays to make it viable to run that.
Guy Clausen, a former tight end, Joe Beasley may as well have been at 6'5", 240, so heaps of run blocking on the outside of the line as well. A toss play the outside, that's Baker, and Baker will get a 5-yard pickup there. And again, they go back to the ground, and that they had the pass attempt on that last set of downs. It didn't do them any harm as they were able to get out of trouble immediately with that osmosis carry. And he will check back in here in the Jokers formation. They're 15 yards away from a major score. Fullback in bizarre motion to the outside, and that's the first time Oklahoma City's defense has gotten on top of osmosis there, and they will have an opportunity to hold them to a field goal here with a 3rd down and 3. Ted Riggs with that tackle.
And I fully believe, like, being in this set, they're just going to run it back up the middle. So we're going to have to see Ted Riggs and the rest of the linebacker core make another stop here on 3rd down.
Into a Joker's look. Baker is back out there. And Baker will get the attempt, and she will get the 1st down, and he's going to be inside the 5. Anchorage with goal to go on the opening drive of the game.
Yep, and there you go there. Recognizing you can run off of number 74 right there, Kai Pickle, your tackle on the outside building. That's just a nice little all-tackle run for a 1st down.
Osmosis will be tasked with the punch in, got past the first wave of contact, and the second attempt coming from behind there. One of the safeties has made a huge play and has planted Osmosis at the line of scrimmage. In fact, it's Riggs again with an important tackle.
And a key play there, number 57, outside linebacker Greg Berger blew up the pulling guard and blew it up in the backfield that caused that commotion to stop him.
Remain in a Joker's look here. It's Baker up the middle, and the contact is good enough. It'll be a 1-yard gain. Riggs with a 3rd tackle on the drive.
And already you're seeing how active Riggs is here. This is a big 3rd and goal. You know they're going to stack the box. Will Anchorage pull the play action and maybe throw the football?
Toss play, Osmosis, open room, touchdown. Anchorage get the score they deserved on that drive. They ran it all the way home, and they've got the opening score of the game.
The reason why they're number 1 in the league in running plays and calling running plays is because they just believe in it. Once again, you see them get right behind number 82, Guy Clausen, with a great block. They do so much well practicing on blocks during the middle of the week there, and you see it there. Just a clean run, ran it down their throats, and that's how they set the tone for the first quarter.
Extra point is successful. They took 5 minutes off the clock there with that possession as well. Stats team highlighting Riggs had 5 tackles, not just 3 that I'd initially highlighted. So he's been busy, but Anchorage get the score in the end. And we'll kick it back to Oklahoma City for their opening possession of the game. Returned up past the 30s. He's going to get up past the 40 and still trying to march the sideline. And in there inside Anchorage territory off the back of the kickoff. A huge return play.
And that's what you want to see. Big plays out of your offense, your defense, and then your special team. What a way to get to the outside, broke the tackle. All you had left was the kicker there, and good job getting more extra yardage. Now you're on the right side of the 50-yard line to get this ball here. You want to score to keep up with Anchorage.
That was the tight end Randy Pierce on kick returns. We've seen Carolina do that with Leland Akai across the course of their season, and Oklahoma City seem to be finding success with a similar approach. They're going to go up the middle on the first play of the drive, and the rookie Carl Bruschi will get 4 yards rather, as this Oklahoma City offense will get very good opportunity early off the back of conceding the opening touchdown of the game. Pickler will maintain a heavy set here, 3 tight ends. Hand off up the middle. They no longer have Bruschi on the field for that play, and it will be shut down at the line of scrimmage.
Now 2 quick plays, and now you're looking at 3rd and medium here. So you know they're going to be looking for Tiberius Bovine, looking for your 2 tight end set. Probably something over the middle. You're going to have to get to that first down marker.
Pickler's first throw of the game. He's got time to make a decision downfield, and a 2-on-1 matchup and Randy Pierce unable to come up with the goods, and they cannot make the most of that field position that Pierce had generated, and we'll have to punt this one away.
Yeah, major keys there with a deflection, good pass defense there. They're gonna put the ball, but it's gonna be deep in their end zone here. So let's see.
They'll punt it from within their own half, and there's not enough. Oh, gee, it nearly fumbled, and he
Ooh.
eventually had to make a play at it. There was some good pressure there on the punt return to try and make a play. One of the backup defenders there that rushed in. And Anchorage end up with the football. They'll start with a bunch formation. Don't suspect they'll venture too far away from the approach on that opening drive. Toss play to Osmosis, and he will break a tackle, but the second one there sliding across to make the play was Mike Cross, and it'll end up a 3-yard gain. We'll go to an ace look here, another single back formation. Baker checks in. 4-3 from the Renegades. Hand off to the outside, Baker, and he's shut down at the line of scrimmage by Rick Evans, and an opportunity for Oklahoma City here to get a 3 and out.
And that the key to blowing up that play is when you see the guard Damian Pickle pull to the other side, you have to shoot that gap and stop him before he can make an impact block there, and that's how you can get a 1 yard or a no yard gain.
3rd and long, Christensen did a little pirouette in the pocket, and is a beautiful throw to find Guy Clausen in between the hash marks.
I've been waiting to see that from this Anchorage team. When they are having a good game, they can do a play action. Play action is going to be so important because they run the ball so well. So when you can just fake it and freeze the linebackers, that middle is going to be more wide open because they're watching out for the running back.
Into a triple look. They'll go back to the toss play. Osmosis shut down at the line of scrimmage. They sent 2 of the linebackers at him, and the second one got him, and it'll be a loss of 2.
And they're going to have to send that type of pressure, fly to the football to slow Anchorage down.
Decision time here for Anchorage. Do you go to the pass here on 2nd down? It'll be against what they've been doing so far in this game. They are going to go to Baker, and Baker will get a really good gain in the circumstances. That's a 10-yard run from Charlie Baker. It'll make it 3rd and 2.
When you get them into a longer down situation, you cannot give up 10 yards on the run. You have to recognize that they are going to do everything they can to run the football, and you need to stop them. You need to put more people in that box, force them to pass the football, and beat you on the pass.
Into a Joker's formation. They need to get Osmosis again here early. Hand off at the middle. Osmosis does get enough forward progress, and he'll be up over halfway for another Anchorage 1st down and another 3rd down conversion.
And what makes them so talented, Baker and Osmosis, is they see where the hole is stop at, and they cut. They do these one cut visions, and they bounce it outside or bounce it inside. They are really patient when they get the football.
Okay, so you're going to shift their defense around here against this triple formation. Baker's going to get sent up the middle again. That's been her style of running today. Just go A to B, whereas they try and punch Osmosis to the outside of their formations. And it'll be a 2nd down and 6. Osmosis back in there against this heavy Oklahoma City front. Handoff this time, he goes up the middle, breaks the first tackle. They're chasing him to the sideline, and they will succeed in pushing him out before he could step forward. It'll be a 3rd down and 2.
And that's how OKC did a great job of stuffing the run up the middle. They recognize in that Joker formation, they like to run between the guard and tackle, but you just saw Osmosis' patience to bounce it outside to get some more yardage.
There's Baker and Bizarre. It'll be a carry for Baker on the outside, shut down behind the line of scrimmage. Oklahoma City finally get a stop there on one of those 3rd down and shorts. It's Greg Berger on that tackle, and Anchorage will punt it away.
Those outside linebackers are so key. They have to contain the outside, make sure they don't get blocked, and then right there, Berger contain the outside, made the tackle, and stop them.
4th down, and it'll be OKC football when we return here on the Virtual Football Network. I'm Jacob Clear. That is Anthony Ellison. We've got Michael Lopez and Keith Wheeler running stats for us. Mr. Cameron over on producing. As always, you are watching the Simulation Football League on the Virtual Football Network. This will be punted. Again, short distance. There must be a breeze going in that direction of the field from right to left of your screen because this won't even be fielded by Oklahoma City. And a good result, all told. That punt will be fielded just beyond the 10-yard line.
Yeah, push them back, which is it kind of worked out in their favor. I guess the wind is swirling, but they got a good favorable bounce on that punt.
Well, it means Johnny Pickler will be throwing into that breeze here on this drive. We'll see if that changes their approach here at all. Drop back. They're not going to offer much on the outside. That closed up very quickly there on the tailback in Carl Brewski.
And here's the thing with OKC, which is like frustrating. Like they start slow, but then they'll gear it up towards late third quarter, fourth quarter. I'd rather you see them gear it up now and not just do run play, and then pass it on third down and incomplete it.
And off the outside, there's no Brewski, and the backup tailback is, in fact, it was Brewski again, who's not going to get anything on that run. Anchorage run defense here, shutting it down. The Oklahoma City take a gamble here. They're 9 yards away from their own goal line. Pickler has got 4 receiving options to throw to. He will drop back and throw, and it is incomplete. That's the better look than we saw earlier to Randy Pierce, but instead it is an incompletion again looking for Nolan Pierce, and it will be a second punt of the game, and their defense is not rewarded for that stop they just got.
And that's exactly what I mean, Jacob. Like they ran the same type of drive last time: run, and then pass the ball. And it's third and long here. You want to do some wrinkles in your offense and change it up a little bit.
Anchorage will start this next drive inside Oklahoma City territory. The rest of that defense for the Renegades: Shinyanator, Fred Hines, Jason Clay, the defensive line, Mike Cross, Vane Ritka, Ted Riggs, and Greg Berger, the linebackers, Bill Rogers, Rick Evans, Parker Thomas, Todd Ritzke, and Mark Barua make up the secondary unit. Toss play to the outside. It's Osmosis with the opening carry, and again they do a good job on him. Shut down after a gain of 2 by Cross.
But this is falling into Anchorage type of play. They are running the ball, killing the clock, and doesn't give the OKC enough opportunities on offense because they control the field of play here when running the football, getting up slowly, and getting enough yardage for first downs.
Toss play to Baker, beat the first tackle, and they get the pressure there again. It'll only be a gain of 1. Cross again. They credit the linebacker that shot the gap early there to try and slow that play down.
Absolutely. You know they've been practicing that. Shoot the gap, get to them before the blockers can set up.
So into a 3rd and 7 here. You imagine Christensen will have to throw, but he's completed 2 of his 2 passes already. Here's the 3rd. Christensen, the pocket collapsed, and he's gone. See you later, Silas. And he's dumped in the backfield by Shinyanator.
And the person that just loves defense, I love that call on 3rd down. Don't let Christensen get set in the pocket. You send an overload blitz. Good job by number 53 to get past the tackle and the running back. What a play call to force him to punt the ball. I like that.
And the defense gets another stop here, so pressure on Oklahoma City's offense to try and put something together. This punt will catch in the breeze again, and it'll be fielded this time friendlier field position for the Renegades as they'll start this next drive. It'll be a little further beyond the 20, depending on the outcome of this penalty. It will. There's a face mask against one of the Anchorage special teams players, and that will set them up nicely in the circumstances. But again, they've gone run, and none of the runs so far have worked out. The 2 passes from Pickler have been incomplete on the 3rd down and long. Basically identical drives to start the game for the Renegades. They'll start this one again in an offset I trips formation. Another run. Brewski trying to get some forward progress, and he is nailed after a gain of 3.
Yeah, I know they're trying to get Brewski the ball early just to get him going. His close to 100 carries so far this season. But you got to think about it. If you're not getting enough yards on first and second down, you might need to change it up and air it out a little bit.
Pickler's going to throw on a second down off the back foot, and it is incomplete. Tried to hit the midst there of the receiver that got sent downfield, and Tiberius Bovine, who's on the precipice of a 1,000-yard season as of week 10. So he's effectively averaging just shy of 100 yards per game. But he was unable to come up with the goods there, and it'll be a 3rd down and 7. The bunch to the left-hand side of the formation, and Brewski's going to be a receiver as well. So Pickler with 5 options to throw to. Drop back, a good protection up front. He's rolling around in the pocket. Pickler's going to run, and he's got the first down. First down of the game after 13 and a half minutes of scrimmage for the Renegades.
Yeah, Jacob, you saw number 77, Ron Blackman, with a good block on the outside. And Pickler that's not afraid to run the football. We always tell him to slide so you don't get blasted. But that is a good awareness. Recognize the first down, didn't take the unnecessary hit.
Twins to the top of the screen again. They'll go back to Brewski, and there's just nothing on offer for him so far this afternoon. This Anchorage defense playing lockdown. They've got Darko Young, Finn Steele, Harrison Kilgore, and Robert Cron on the defensive line. Duncan Onham, Luke Swift, Dexter Jackson, and Zachary Bobineau, the linebackers. Adam Jones, Julian Gasker, Eric Belmont, Major Key, Alex Marshall, Kanye Rockefeller, and Justin reside in the secondary. That Twins formation will become a pseudo-pro set here. Pickler's going to throw, got the tight end open, and Bovine will get a gain of 5. In fact, that is Randy Pierce on that catch. So they're exchanging the 2 tight ends in and out so far today. Pierce now 1 of 2, and it will be a 3rd down and 5.
Heavier formation here.
Brewski with Pierce at the fullback spot, and Pickler's going to throw downfield. There's the open receiver. It's starting to come together here, and it will be a 1st down catch for Nolan Pierce.
Bringing in, having more people in to block gave Pickler time to survey the field, step up in the pocket, and deliver a good throw there. You need to test out this Anchorage pass defense that's sitting around 17th, middle of the pack in the league. They give up passing yards. You have to attack that secondary, because you know what? The run defense is number two in the league. They don't give up a lot of running yards.
Pierce and Brewski, the backfield tandem again. But Pickler's going to throw to this formation. Draw risky pass to Pierce, who did get a catch, I would imagine, there, but it will be for no gain either way. We'll introduce that OKC offense again. Pickler under center, Brewski the back. Nolan Pierce and Christian Bossigalupi, who's been unsighted so far, the receivers. Randy Pierce and Tiberius Bovine, the tight ends. Nick King, Dave Strong, Larry Noble, Tank Powers, and Ron Blackman, the offensive line. Pickler to throw, it is incomplete. Looking downfield, trying to hit Bossigalupi right on cue. And it will be a 3rd down and 10.
Ooh, and that quickly at 3rd and 10 there. It's looking for those tight ends. They've been interchanging them there, and you're probably going to be looking at more of a deep post. I would keep an eye. Be careful in the flat routes by Anchorage. They're going to be lurking.
Pickler rolling around the pocket, sends it deep, and it is incomplete. The defender, Eric Belmont, there got a hand up on it, and will be enough to prevent a major score. And they are in field goal range here, I'd imagine. Oklahoma City, so they will walk away with points off the back of this attempt here from Judah Dog, and he's 47 yards away from the sticks. Swings this one from right to left. He's got to keep it inside, and he does. And Oklahoma City have got a score on the board, 7 points to 3.
Yep, and any points is good in this situation here. Your defense is playing well. The last drive, they're slowing down Anchorage and forcing them to pass the football. So let's see. There's 4 minutes left. If I'm the Wolves, I want to hold onto the ball for the rest of the quarter. I don't want to give OKC any chance.
It's boatloads of time. 4 minutes and change on the clock as Dorgan's kick not returnable. And we'll see Anchorage march it out again. They've been stopped on their last 2 times out. So they're going to start in an empty back set here. Tight end and Kilgore moved across the face. 4 other receivers for Christensen to throw to. He'll throw it across, and that's incomplete. Well covered on the outside there, trying to hit Clawson.
And OKC is playing good coverage there. They sent some blitz, so it was only single high in the back, but they're playing really good. They're getting enough pressure that's forcing Christensen to throw the football earlier than he wants to.
Bunch to the left-hand side. They've run it mostly on these second downs. They will do so again here. Osmosis, he's nailed. What a hit in the forward pocket there. It'll only be a gain of 3 and a 3rd down and long. Oklahoma City have got this right where they want it.
Right, exactly where they want to. Anchorage throwing the football. OKC, I love the pressure that they've been sending here. I would be careful. They're lurking for an interception.
Christensen, not pressured, throws it across his body, and it is caught!
Oh!
And then breaking a tackle downfield is Clawson. That was unbelievable.
That concentration is so, that's really hard to do because I really thought that was a pick six, and they just missed it. And I love how he was able to concentrate, hold on to the football, and got a first down. They caught a break there.
I was fully expecting Rick Evans to be going back in the other direction. Christensen now throws across his body again, and this time they punish him, and going back the other way is Rick Evans for a 6-pointer, and Oklahoma City are going to steal the lead on the break at halftime. It's Todd Rigsby.
Jacob, when you force this team to pass the football, I told you earlier in the game, there's opportunities for OKC to intercept the football. The play before, they just missed it. That time around, they didn't miss it in that one. They've been playing that flat route this whole series right here, and they were just waiting for it. That's just a bad ball. You can't throw it across your body, across the field right there. OKC takes the lead.
What a remarkable pair of plays. I mean, it looks like, for all money, that last pick attempt from Christensen was going to go back the other way, and then he does the exact same thing again, and that time it does. So the first time Clawson ends up with a really good play, at least numerically, and then Oklahoma City capitalize on basically the same attempt from Christensen. So you can't fool this defense twice. And Anchorage will get the possession again here with just over 3 minutes to go in the opening half. Look at the stats there. They've been all over the game. And in the blink of an eye,
one play.
The home side back in, well, not back in front. They are in front for the first time today. Into a triple formation. They're going to go back to Osmosis, and they've swarmed him again. They are doing a number on him so far this afternoon. That's Ted Riggs, who's been absurdly busy in the opening half.
And they need these linebackers to play out of their mind to even be in this football game, and that's what they're doing. More pressure coming.
That run, a gain of 1. A motion receiver across the face here. Do they go back to the air? They do. Christensen throws way too deep, and the receiver there in Davis is nowhere near where that pass was going. So they're now in another vicarious 3rd and long with the clock stopped as well. So Oklahoma City again in prime position to capitalize. Empty back set. Christensen's got to be careful with his ball placement here on this play. Drop back. He is not under pressure here. He'll roll out the pocket, and Clawson has it at halfway. He has thrown it again over the top of the defense. Last time it went back for 6. This time he's hit Clawson again. The numbers are in his favor, Christensen, but Anchorage back on the move again.
Showing absolutely no fear on these throws there. You went right back to the type of play that you got intercepted on last time, and you completed it with a big strike and a much needed first down.
I don't know if Ryan Davis has given him the green light, but he seems to have it at the moment, Christensen, to do basically whatever he wants. And as we hit the 2-minute warning, Anchorage are going to have the football here just inside Oklahoma City territory. We really didn't know what this game was going to be, but the last few minutes have been spectacular.
We still don't know. This is going to be a good one.
Christensen back in the empty, so he's really onto something here in this back end of the second quarter. Guy Clawson seems to be the go-to man at the moment. Drop back by Christensen. Quick throw across the middle. That will be caught. And they'll get a gain of 11. Ryan Davis's first catch of the evening. And another first down for Anchorage.
And this is a key drive because Anchorage comes out of the half with the football. So if you can turn the tide of this game here, but it is going to start by one play at a time.
A minute 40 remaining on the first half clock. Another drop back by Christensen out of the empty. Short throw is caught. They're going to break a tackle here. That is Clawson again. And it will be a gain of 6 or 7. And they can slow things down here with under 90 seconds left on the ticker. Back into the empty here. And a run from Christensen, and he'll get the first down. And now they'll call one of their timeouts with just over a minute remaining.
Love that play call there because the defense was not ready and not looking for a quarterback sneak. What away saw the opening. There was nobody in the middle of that defense, and it was able to sneak in to get a first down.
Into a triple formation. Short drop back by Christensen, throws, got the possession, and now it's going to be a 10-yard run to the house for Ryan Davis, and Anchorage are going to steal the lead right back.
A very healthy back and forth competition. They've been recognizing, so when OKC sends the pressure, it's been single high on the outside, and that time Christian recognized the single high and just threw it there. Threw it on the outside, made a play. Your receiver made a big play to get to the end zone. They needed that after that pick six they threw.
What a cracking game at Renegade Nation Stadium. Still a minute left for this high-octane Oklahoma City passing offense to try and do something before the half is out as well. But in the meanwhile, Anchorage back in the lead thanks to a Ryan Davis touchdown, furthermore a Joe Garfield extra point, and it is a 14-10 ball game here in Oklahoma City.
Didn't expect this in the first half. This is really good, and there's still more time left.
Not at all. It's a messy game, but it's a very entertaining game to continue what's been a very good slate of games in Week 10 of the SFL regular season. No return there by Bossy Galupi. So see how aggressive Pickler gets here late in the game. We do know Bovine is a marquee target. Pierce can make a play. Bossy Galupi can make a play. Pickler is under pressure and he's going to be sacked for a loss of 3. So they can just stem the flow a little bit here. Anchorage there, as it looks like it was Robert Cron who got inside for that sack.
I think, and good job, Pickler, protecting the football. I think right there should tell you that you should just take it to the half because you don't want a turnover this deep in your end zone.
Fullback motion across the line, not in a rush to snap this play, but Pickler is going to throw and got nailed again. That time he was able to get the pass away. The pressure there from Kanye Rockefeller moving up from that 3 safety spot enough to force that issue, and we're 3rd down and 13.
And now you're seeing pressure from the Wolves front 4 there, getting Pickler off his feet.
Bunch to the left. Pickler is going to throw, and it was only really intended for a blue helmet there in the end. It was Nolan Pierce's target credited, but there was heaps of coverage there, and Justin Rizai will be credited with that deflection. And with 28 seconds left on the clock, Anchorage are going to get the ball back.
With your timeouts and a good return here, they'll have a chance to flip and add some more points.
Do have the wind in their favour here, Oklahoma City, and you'll see that's going to travel past the halfway line. So there's a decent 48 yards in it here, but they could easily get themselves into field goal range and kick it out to a 7-point lead.
Yeah, and they can take advantage of it if OKC starts to send more pressure. How they scored last drive was on the outside on one-on-one man coverage, so that's something that you might look out for if you see OKC bring pressure to you.
So you imagine they need about maybe 15, 16 yards minimum to get into field goal range here. So they need at least a first down. Christensen's going to throw downfield. He's already got it there, and they'll be able to call a timeout.
Playing aggressive, okay.
Gives them a few more opportunities here should they want to take a shot. Again, Christensen has thrown a pick 6 so far in this half. It's the only major score that Oklahoma City have gained so far tonight. In the empty, Christensen in the middle again. Oh, good coverage. Read that beautifully there was Rigsby, who's had a really good half.
Really good coverage there. They're trying to go back to the same play, and it was just ready for it at that time and could have intercepted it.
11 seconds on the clock. They are going to run another play here. Try and get themselves a little bit closer to the field goal mark. Toss play. Osmosis runs outside. Smart play calling. And they'll call a timeout with 7 seconds left.
It was just like you call it, looking for just a little bit more just in favor of your kicker. You get some yardage. You had a timeout there. And this is like the best case scenario, getting some points, making it a one-score game.
47-yarder. Keep in mind, Garfield is kicking into the wind here. He will send it left to right. He has kept it inside. And Anchorage are going to take a 7-point lead into halftime.
Yeah, and what a way to get quickly down the field. Get your kicker, had a plenty enough leg there. Take a 7-point lead in half.
Pending some kind of kick return here from Randy Pierce. He did get one inside Anchorage territory earlier. And he will return it up past the 20, trying to get in between the traffic. Won't do so. That will do us for a half there as Borsi Galupi ends the half for us, and Anchorage are going to take a 17-10 lead.
This has been a very interesting first half. The first quarter was shown as pure domination on the running attack by the Wolves. But then you saw OKC starting to play that run really well, forcing the Wolves to throw the football, and that's when they start to take the lead. When they get to pick 6, they start to get some more pressure. But then you see Anchorage, before the second quarter closes, was able to go down the field twice and get themselves 7 points.
It's an interesting game here. Johnny Pickler was 3 of 10 for 21 yards. It just hasn't been his afternoon. Christensen, meanwhile, 8 of 13 for 122. Again, Paulson leads the way in the receiving category. He's 4 of 5 for 63. Could well be your halftime player, if not for Todd Rigsby, who had that pick 6 there that was just shown in that photo there. We'll see how things unfold here in the second half at Renegade Nation Stadium. Rigsby is your halftime player with those 4 tackles and the pick 6. Anchorage lead this one by 7 points at halftime. I am Jacob Clear. That is Anthony Ellison. We've got Mark Lopez and Keith Wheeler on stats for you this evening, providing us the numbers. Commissioner Cameron Over, I'm producing. As always, this is the Simulation Football League on the Virtual Football Network. And Oklahoma City going to get first possession with a 7-point deficit at halftime. Their home crowd behind them here. And no return on the kickoff by Randy Pierce. So again, they haven't done a great deal on the offensive side of the ball. It's that pick 6 from Rigsby that's really keeping them in this game at the moment. We know what this offense is capable of. Excuse me. Voice is not cooperating with me tonight. Pickler out of a triple. He's going to motion one of these receivers across the face. And a short drop back, throws out. Tied! Oh, boy!
Whoa.
He was looking for Pearson. Belmont has, like a thief in the night, just stolen it right out of his mitts.
And that's the second play today. We remember the interception that we thought that wasn't. This one, I thought that was a catch on the offensive side, and you saw Belmont just take it away, just literally grown person that snatch it out the way, and they get a big interception coming out of the half.
And it's huge for Anchorage. They're now 25 yards away from kicking it out to a two-score lead and already in field goal range. Osmosis on the outside. We didn't see much of that in the second quarter after it was basically all we got from Anchorage in the opening quarter. Again, not a complaint by any means. It was working brilliantly, and then they decided to try and explore the passing offense in that second quarter, which helped Oklahoma City get back to the game. It looks like they've gone back to their first half approach. It's Baker on the toss play on the outside. Baker's got room and is inside the 10-yard line.
Yeah, but going back to what they are built on, which is a running attack, let's slow things down. You had to pass the ball a little bit in the second quarter, but what the running game can do. Blocking on the outside is superb. Let's chew clock and slow things down.
Ted Riggs has 8 solo tackles, 1 assisted. 9 yards away now, Anchorage from a major score. Osmosis is lit up in the backfield, and he's going to lose yardage. They've done well on him beyond the first quarter, as Fred Himes, the rookie, is going to get a tackle for loss.
They've been doing a great job when those linebackers shoot the gap, like how aggressively they have. So that's a good play to stop them in the backfield.
There's a 2-yard loss there on the ground. Christensen's going to throw, has them back inside the 5. There is it is caught by, looks like Kevin Parker, and it will be a 3rd down and goal from the 4-yard line.
Ooh, what a way to stay in that pocket, knowing the pressure was about to collapse on them. We stayed in there just a half a second longer and made a good throw.
And off to Osmosis, stiff arm. Osmosis is home, and they've got their 2-score lead.
Man, that happened so quickly. Turnover off of the first play of the half, and then they respond, points off of turnovers. That's 14 points today off of turnovers, and this is just their bread and butter. Stiff arm, you're not tackling on one-on-one. Money walking into the end zone.
Yeah, it's tough for Oklahoma City. We were saying throughout the first quarter that they needed to try and pass the football a bit more, and they did. And that fullback sort of out route that they were running there with Randy Pierce, they completed it the first time they ran it, then the second time it was incomplete, the third time it got intercepted, so potentially a play to try and take out of the playbook as the game progresses here, as they find themselves down by 14, but again, plenty of football left. Kickoff sent to Pearson, Bossy Galupi, it'll be returned up past the 20 to the 35. Is a good return in the end, and Oklahoma City going to start this possession at the 37. Pierce has been awesome on the returns.
Yeah, been giving them good yardage there. This second one here, just breaking tackles right in the middle, and this is the yardage they needed to get out of their end zone, and they're having a good return. Their special teams are stepping up.
It's just a very un-Johnny Pickler-like performance so far today. 3 of 11, the 1 interception on that last possession. We know what he's capable of, so it's more so a credit to Anchorage's defense so far this evening. They've only really given up 3 points on this side of the ball. Into a Twins formation, going to toss it to Brewski, and he still doesn't have much room to work with. He's now 6 runs, 5 rushing yards on the ground. They have totally wiped him out of the game. And they don't have him in the backfield here on this play with the backup in. So Pickler is going to throw, and it is incomplete. Too much traffic in the middle of the field there. Anchorage with an opportunity to get here off the field here nice and quickly. Adam Jones, the veteran cornerback, with that deflection.
And this is what we saw in the first quarter, is this Anchorage defense just swarming, and Pickler having a tough time finding open receivers.
Pickler diving grab there across the middle by Bovine, but it's only going to be a gain of 5. There is Adam Jones with another play, and it will be a 4th and 5. They'll have to punt this one back.
Yeah, and then just getting hit Like, the line of scrimmage, the pressure by the front four of the Wolves has been tough.
Kicking into the breeze again, and this will be decent field position here for Anchorage. They'll start this 28 yards away from their own goal line there. And an opportunity now to try and get a 3-score lead. They could really lock into that run game now, which has been successful for them across the course of the evening. Osmosis, they send pressure around the edge, and that will get home. There is a good open field tackle made by Rick Evans.
I mean, for what it's worth, they've been doing a really decent job holding the running game for Anchorage. Is close to 100 yards rushing, but they're working.
2nd and 9, toss play the outside. It's Baker, and Baker is going to be trapped at the line of scrimmage. Again, they've done a really good job against this ground game so far this evening. Obviously, Osmosis has had some big plays. Baker's been efficient on the ground, but Osmosis averaging only just above the 3-yard per carry mark, which is lower than what we're used to from him this season. Roll out by Christensen has plenty of time, but that's into the wrong pair of hands, and it'll be deflected away by Rigsby, who already has a turnover on the evening, and OKC are going to get the ball back.
Yeah, and their defense for OKC is doing the best they can. Now we just need to see what Pickler and the offense can do just to get points on the board. Right now, they only have 3 offensive points because the 7 points came from that pick 6.
Jim Garfield with the punt. They'll be returned up to the 35 there by Borsigalupi. So can they get something going here on offense? Oklahoma City, they have had plentiful chances offered to them by their defense. They have yet to be able to break this loaded Anchorage Wolves defense. Offset eye, they've ran out of this mostly this evening. They will throw here. Pickler rolling around in the pocket, out to get rid of it, and did. And it will be a incompletion there. It was Borsigalupi who it was intended towards, but it was going to be a sack there for a half moment.
Yeah, just getting hit while throwing the football we're seeing it too much today, and it's the pressure. That line for OKC just needs to hold their blocks a little bit longer.
Another offset eye look, twins to the top of your screen. Quick throw. It is in and out of a pair of hands, and the diving attempt at the back there nearly had the interception. Rockefeller involved. It'll be a 3rd down and 10.
And you can just sense that the interception is going. They're tipping the passing lanes, hands up by the defender. They're getting pressure. They're doing everything they need to stop Pickler in this passing attack.
Into a 4 wide look here on the 3rd down and long. Pickler stands in the pocket. It is, oh man, Specky in the middle of the park by Tiberius Bovine. Puts him over 1,000 yards on the season.
Yeah, and this is what we've been seeing all season long here. Just good position, and when they needed a play, he's there to make a play.
Gets them on the move. Boy, they needed that, Oklahoma City. They were going nowhere, and their veteran tight ends come up with the play. Pickler now with time to throw the pocket. Has an open receiver. It's Nolan Pierce in between the hash marks. And now we're starting to see it come together.
And we know with Pickler, it only takes a couple passes completed for him to get into a rhythm, and then we'll see the true form of this offense. And right here, back-to-back plays, another good high percentage throw for a 1st down.
Pierce has had 6 targets, just his 2nd completion of the evening so far. Finds Oklahoma City on the precipice of the red zone. Pickler's going to throw again, has an open receiver. That time it's jarred free. A great read there up front by Reside to ensure that was incomplete.
Yeah, and that time they got there in time to knock the ball loose. They've been playing really aggressive over the middle. That time they just wasn't able to bring the ball down for a catch.
Go back to the Twins look, but they've thrown exclusively over the last 5 plays, and they've won one too many. And Anchorage have got the ball back. It's going to be returned up past the 50. And all the way, Zachary Babineau will be pushed out of bounds there, but it is all fallen apart again for Oklahoma City. They were going and going and going, and Pickler threw it to the wrong man.
Yeah, and Pickler just didn't see it, was wanting that play over the middle again, and then they had somebody sitting in like that Tampa 2 style defense, made a big play on it, and the Wolves cut down any type of momentum that OKC was trying to have.
2 interceptions in the half for Johnny Pickler, 1 to Babineau there, and Eric Belmont had that opening interception of the half. And Anchorage now find themselves back inside Oklahoma City territory. Christensen the throw. And plenty of contact there on Ryan Davis, who will get an 8-yard gain.
And now they can really get in those big formations, joker formations, and run the football and just, push down on this OKC defensive front.
Jokers look here on a 2nd down and short. There's Moses in the backfield again. And off straight up the middle, and Osmosis, oh boy! One of the Oklahoma City defenders copped it there up front, and Osmosis gets the 1st down.
If you're going to shoot the gap, make a tackle. If not, that's going to happen, and it's like a freight train hits you. You came from the safety position. You did your job. You just didn't do 100% of your job.
I think it was Rigsby who's had a bit of a mixed bag so far this evening. And some moments of brilliance, that one probably one to shelve. That one over the top, and it was intended for Parker, potentially. There was Davis in the area as well, but Christensen kind of threw it in between the two of them, and neither had a shot at it.
There's no need to pass the football there. Your running game will grind it out for you.
Ryan Davis getting a little bit antsy on the sideline here, watching his team throw the football in the round game. It's been so effective here in this 2nd half so far. And I want to give this Oklahoma City outfit more opportunities than they already are. That's a great hit up front. I say this like, don't throw. But their defense has been stellar against Osmosis at certain points tonight. Rigsby making up for that last play. It'll be a 3rd down and 10. They are in field goal range. Into a quads look here. Going to fan the lineman out. And the running back Baker is going to move across the face. So it'll be a quick throw from Christensen outside. Ooh. Oh my goodness! He's got it inside the 10. Unbelievable. Did he get it? No, he didn't. Thomas, in the end, was able to put it down. But my God, I thought Clausen had come up with that for a half second.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised the way the game has been going today that was going to come down with a catch. But needless to say, points on the board here with this field goal.
45-yarder from Garfield is successful. I mean, Clausen has had some miraculous plays, so it wouldn't have been out of character. But in the end, it did fall away incomplete. Just didn't see where the football had gone. There were so many defenders around the area. But Oklahoma City now find themselves down by 17 here with 13 minutes of scrimmage left in this ball game. He needs something on offense. Bovine had a moment there on that last drive. This return will go up past the 25 to the 26 from Pierce. So, again, what do? You haven't really had much success on either facet of your offense. Do you keep going to the pass just because you're behind, but you've got to try and find these talented receivers that they've got?
Yeah, you have to still push you have to push the ball down the field. The pressure from the Wolves has been coming from their front four, so maybe you keep a tight end in or running back to block because you really need to get the ball down the field.
Into a triple formation. Pickler is unprotected. He throws it. It is caught up past the 40. And Bovine with another catch. So again, he was unsighted in the opening half. As has Borsigalupi. He's not had a catch yet. They're starting to get things together here. They've just got to prevent the turnovers.
Yeah, Pickler's not afraid to throw the football down the field. And, sometimes it's in their favor and sometimes it's some interceptions, but he's going to push it. That's what we need to see. Just a clean pocket, step up and make a throw.
Back up to the 45 now. Drop back by Pickler. Throws that quick out route is really killing them at the moment. Randy Pierce unable to get a read on it.
It just feels like they're not in sync on that out route and a lot of their plays there because they had something going, just got to make a good throw.
You can see what they're trying to do with it, but it just hasn't worked so far tonight. Pickler to throw again. This time it's going to go downfield. Oh boy, well covered. There were 3 different Anchorage defenders there in the area. And in the end, the deflection will be credited to Major Key. That's his second of the evening. It'll be a 3rd down and 10.
And this pass coverage for Anchorage has been really good today, and just Pickler just cannot get a rhythm going.
Pickler drop back. He was swarmed, and the defensive line's going to get a reward for their good work on that possession. Darko Young with the sack, and that will shut them down again.
Darko Young has been around that quarterback all game, just waited for Pickler to step in the pocket, shed the blocker, and got a sack there. Now forcing OKC to punt the football again.
Just hasn't come together tonight for the Renegades. It's Young's 4th sack of the season. He leads the team in that particular category. And this punt will be fair caught at around the 25-yard line. I mean, they've done well tonight, Oklahoma City's defense. They just haven't been rewarded on the other side of the ball. Again, I mean, we know how good Osmosis has been. He averages 4 yards per carry across the course of the season. He's eclipsed 750 yards on the ground across the course of the season. Tonight, he's averaged a little over 3 yards per carry. So they've done a number on him. Baker has been the more efficient of the two. Her 10 for 51. And off at the middle to Osmosis. This is where he can start to really make his money because this defense is wearing out very quickly. And that'll be a 7-yard run.
Yeah, this defense has been doing the best they can, but what Anchorage does so well, especially when they have a lead late in the game, is they lean on that offensive line and they just keep on pushing the D lineman back.
Baker with open room. That's in line with how her afternoon has been going. That's a 5-yard run and a 1st down. Well, you can't imagine Christensen's going to have to do much here on this possession. Just the way things are going here. Osmosis checks back in. Toss play to him on the outside. It'll be a gain of 2. Give him maybe 3 or 4 in the end.
You just like Osmosis, Baker, when they run the football, like you think you have them stocked, they keep their legs moving and then get the extra yardage. That looked like a 1-2-yard game, but they kept moving their legs to get some more yards.
Toss play outside. Baker got the block up front. That was brilliant. And Charlie Baker's going to be inside Oklahoma City territory once again.
And once again, that is the guard number 62, Damon Pickle, pulling from his position, go to the outside. Baker just wait for the blockers to set up, go run the daylight.
And keeping out the one player that's really been on top of this run game today in Ted Riggs, who has 10 solo tackles to his name so far tonight. That gain up the middle for Osmosis, a gain of 3. Someone's there. I mean, these 2 backs, they're now around about, I think they've just gone over the 150-yard mark combined as we hit the end of the 3rd quarter here. Oklahoma City trailing by 17 at home to the Wolves. Jacob Clear, that is Anthony Ellis, and we've got Mark Lopez and Keith Wheeler running stats for us this evening. You're watching the Simulation Football League on the Virtual Football Network. Back into a joker's look here. Anchorage trying to ice this game here on the road, get their 5th win of the season 26 campaign. That run for Osmosis will gain a few. It'll be a 3rd down and 4, so potentially the first pass of the drive here. Out of the empty, wouldn't put it past Christensen to run it himself, but he's got the completion across the middle. And Ryan Davis, I mean, really, anytime he's gone back to pass, it's gone to either Davis or Clausen, and neither of them have really done anything wrong tonight.
And it has been all game when OKC is trying to get a stop. they just do what they can to get a first down. And that, once again, that's they didn't have to pass the football, but it's like nice little 5 yard in route, and it's just good possession catch.
So a single back triple formation here, hand off the middle to Osmosis, and a pair of the Oklahoma City linebackers there will shut him down for a gain of 3. Offset eye on the 2nd and 7. Baker checks back in. Toss play to her on the outside. She's going to try and weave her way through defenders there, and it'll gain about 3 there on the 3rd down and 4. I mean, you've got to give credit to this offensive line. I mean, obviously they've been productive across the course of the season, but Christensen so far on the campaign, entering tonight, had taken just the 5 sacks. He's taken 1 tonight. That's good enough for 2nd in the league. Baker on the outside run is not going to get that one there on that occasion, and it'll be shut down on the outside by Mike Cross, and they will kick the field goal here, you would imagine.
And the linebackers for OKC have been playing really well today. My hats tip off to Cross, Riggs, Berger. They just have been around the football all day.
Bit of a wonky kick there, and he has kept it inside Garfield, and that will be a 20-point lead.
Yeah, and it shows like when the Wolves get a lead, they go on that running attack. They just pound the football and tire out the defense. And this is a team that obviously wants to play with the lead because they can control the clock extremely well.
Absolutely. I mean, they know what they're doing when they've got advantage of the clock here. This unit, as Borsi Galupi returns up past the 25. So again, I mean, the last game for Oklahoma City, they lost by 30. So they're sort of on the fringe of an improvement from that last loss against the Birmingham Hellhounds, who of course have been one of the fallen teams of the competition so far this season. But their last 2 losses before that, a combined 15-point deficit between the 2 of them. And then, of course, that week before was their only win of the campaign. So they've been going back and forth in terms of their momentum. As that throw from Pickler is incomplete, trying to spot Nola Pierce. Just hasn't come together for them tonight on offense. And not for lack of opportunity either. I mean, again, they were ahead after that Todd Rigsby interception that went back to the house. And since that point, Anchorage have just taken over the game. A little under 8 minutes remaining here in the contest. Drop back by Pickler. He is pressured, sidearms it, and it's caught up past the 45. There is Borsi Galupi, has been unsighted so far tonight. That's his first reception of the evening.
And that's the thing with Pickler. He's a gunslinger. He'll throw balls like that. That's like 4 people surrounding that receiver, and it was able to come down with it. And this team. I mean, if you look at OKC, they want to establish the run early, but they have a little troubles with it. But their identity is passing the football.
We'll try that fullback out route again. Babineau is all over that. That time, at least he completed it to Nolan Pierce. It's his 3rd catch of the evening. Just the 5 yards for him because all the yardage has come off of that play. Pickler to throw again. This time he goes to the flats. Brewski hasn't had a touch in a long time, and he's going to make the most of that one. He'll get the first down.
And nice seeing the plays coming together, just taking the check down. There was nothing down the field, that the running back was open out in the backfield. And that's a good solid play.
Nothing wrong with it at all. It eclipses his rushing yards on one passing play. There, Brewski's, he's had 6 touches on the ground for 6 yards. I'll go back to the air here. Pickler off the back foot, and it is incomplete. Tried to hit Borsigalupi again, and that one falls away incomplete.
And it's off the back foot because the pressure from the defensive line of Anchorage has been like that the whole entire game.
About 42 yards away from the major score here. Oh, the drop back by Piccolo. Oh boy, what a grab. Across the middle at the 25 will be spotted Christian Borsi-Galupi.
But man, when Piglet he throws a really good football. One pressure, rare pressure by Anchorage, and getting the football out in time and stride for your receiver.
Spots them now 24 yards away from a major score. So Borsi-Galupi a couple of grabs on this drive now, starting to insert himself into the game. Still in the Twins look. They're going to motion Nolan Pierce to the top of the formation. He's been the most targeted by Piccolo tonight in tandem with... Oh boy, Pierce lost it out of bounds, but no dramas there. A bit of a scare there on the touchline.
I was like, this is not the time to get a turnover. You're having a decent drive right now. You want to see it through.
Into a joker's look. Does Brewski get a carry here on the second down and short? They haven't been in this situation much tonight, and they have not capitalised there as it is shut down by Harrison Kilgore up the middle. Brewski just hasn't had the room. I mean, we know he's a very capable back in his first season, has had around about 400 yards so far in the season, has ripped off a 70-yard run in that Lexington game, but it just hasn't come together for him tonight behind this rather talented offensive line. Pickler is going to throw, and it is intercepted, and Anchorage are going to get a third. They could get a pick six on the back of it. It's going to be returned up past halfway to the 40s, pursued from behind, up to the 20, to the 10, all the way home, and Anchorage are going to be up by 27, taken all the way back there by Justin Reside, and the Wolves are going to take a convincing win here out of Oklahoma City.
Only their fifth interception of the season. No, actually, they actually had 3 interceptions today, so they have 8 coming into today. They only had 4, but that's because they've been playing really well, forcing the pressure. Pickler has to throw the football, and this has just been what a comeback win for Anchorage when it looks like they were going to have trouble after the second quarter, but they just dominated the football.
Hasn't gone to plan tonight for the Renegades. Garfield's extra point is successful. And again, state of peace for Anchorage. They're right amongst it, aren't they? In the middle of those standards, they entered tonight 4-3. They've kind of gone win-loss, win-loss, win-loss for most of the season. They haven't sort of been able to string... they did string 2 wins together, rather. I should correct myself. They did beat Washington and then Los Angeles back-to-back. Last week was a loss to Vancouver within their own division. Only lost that one by 4, so again, they can show that they can hang with some of the title heavyweights, this Anchorage outfit, and they've got a relatively comfortable schedule upcoming. They've got a road trip against Fort Worth and Bossier City at home the week after for their Week 13 bye, then Birmingham and a road trip to Arizona. It's only one division game left in the season for Anchorage, and they've won 3 of their 4 division games so far as well. So it's been a good campaign for Ryan Davis's team in their first season beyond the Queen City Corsairs era. So Oklahoma City back with the football here at their own 30-yard line. Pickler to throw in traffic and caught by Christian Borsi-Galupi, and they will go no huddle here up to the 44. Pickler again throws outside, juggled by Randy Pierce, and it will be incomplete. Four and a half minutes left in the contest, and this Anchorage defense will be looking for another turnover, you would imagine, to continue to pour on here late in the game. Pickler throws out. That's caught by Pierce, and he will try and turn upfield. In fact, that's Bovine on the other tight end, and he will get a gain of 4. A third down and 6 for Pickler and company. Back into a quads look here. They try and convert here to get a first down and keep their offense on the field for a little bit longer. Pierce motioned across the formation, dropped back by Pickler, and good protection up front that is thrown away and incomplete. He was forced to throw that one a little bit quicker than he was comfortable with. They'll keep the offense out here for a 4th down attempt.
The time they had good protection, just an errant throw.
Bunch to the left-hand side here on the 4th down. Pickler to throw. Protected throw. That's a nice little play there. And it'll be a 1st down for, I believe, Baruski got the catch there out of the backfield. And Pickler's going to throw again and into traffic and incomplete there, looking for Pierce on that occasion.
Yeah, but that play before, I love that Texas route of the running back out of the backfield to get the 1st down there. And that's what I mean. The OKC has a really good passing attack, but when they get behind, it's going to be trouble.
Let's look here at of the Renegades. 4-1 from Anchorage. Pickler to throw. Good deflection there. And this secondary unit has had one of their best performances of the season. That deflection by Alex Marshall.
They have been all over the field, and when they can't get to the interception, they are just knocking the ball down.
Bunch formation to the bottom of the screen here. Drop back by Pickler. Throws across. That is caught up past the 30. Borsi Galupi with another grab. 28 yards away from the end zone. Drop back by Pickler. Throws across again and in and out of about 3 different sets of hands. And in the end, the last touch will come off Julian Gasker and it will fall away incomplete. A killer stat from Mark Lopez. Anchorage have scored 30 total combined unanswered points after that pick 6 from Todd Grigsby. In the process, they've had about 190 yards of offense and 3 turnovers. On the other side of the ball, that catch made by Pierce for a gain of 2 of the Nolan variety. And across the middle, caught by Borsi Galupi. It'll be a gain of about 8. And Oklahoma City with a fresh set of downs here inside the SFL red zone. Pickler to throw. Got it inside the 5 to the 2. Looked like Bovine with that grab. And Pickler again to throw. End zone incomplete. Over the back of the defense, Major Key has had a productive evening.
OKC is they're looking for their first touchdown of the game there. And some good no huddle attacks, maybe slow things down. I wouldn't mind you running the football here just to see if you can sneak one in.
Into a single back flipped triple formation here. Pierce the lone tight end to the right hand side after a motion throws outside. That is caught for a touchdown. They have got one on the board tonight from both their defense and their offense. Christian Borsi Galupi with that catch.
You gotta appreciate it, never giving up. That's what they've been looking for all game. Just good protection, enough protection in the pocket so you can deliver a good throw. I love that out route, right? You throw the football right when they're breaking on the outside, and only the receiver can catch the football. What a way to get some offensive points on the board.
Make the deficit a little bit kinder on the margin of victory side of things here tonight as they get 17 points on the board. And the 17 points here equals the winning total of the other side of our game block. Nail biter between Washington and Houston has concluded on the other side of our game block. It's the Washington Trident who have taken the win there against the Houston Headhunters. Oklahoma City unable to get the onside kick there. Anchorage will take over here and should be able to march out the clock. Again, it's been a mixed bag from Silas Christensen tonight, but in the second half he's been a lot calmer as they've gone back to their sort of bread and butter here on the ground. Toss by the outside, John Osmosis, a stiff arm, and he will get a 4-yard gain before running out of bounds.
And looking towards the rest of the game and the rest of the season for the Wolves, they really need to work more of getting a more complete passing attack, because once teams home in on their running game, they're going to have to show some type of balance.
And up at the middle, a dive from the fullback there. First carry from either of the fullbacks tonight. That is Richard Powers, former Oklahoma City Renegade. There with that touch, it'll be a gain of 5. And a third down and short half a yard here. Upcoming allows them to drain off some of the clock here. Have Osmosis and Bizarre in the backfield here again in this heavy set. So nice play the outside. Osmosis, plenty of room. Stiff arm. He's inside the 20, and that's where he will be pinned and kept his feet in bounds as well. So he'll be able to march this one all the way out to the 2-minute warning.
Yeah, and you see there, it's been their money play outside, getting the outside because of good blocking by your tight ends and your receivers, stiff arm, and then cut back inside to keep the clock moving.
And it brings us to the 2-minute warning here at Renegade Nation Stadium. Oklahoma City trailing by 20 here. Anchorage have been flawless in this second half. And they've got the opportunity here to march out the clock here. Into a Joker's look. They'll give these backs a few more carries. I suppose it's at 30 on the evening here. He's going to get his 31st here, and he's nailed just beyond the line of scrimmage. And Oklahoma City will begin to cycle through their timeouts. Baker checks back in here behind Bizarre. And off at the middle, and not much on offer there. It'll be a gain of 2, second of 3 timeouts called by the Renegades.
And I do like to tip my hat to OKC for just keep on fighting. Their defense, their linebackers really did the best of jobs containing the running game as much as they can. They made the tackles when they need to and shooting the gap. It was just the offensive line is really tough for the Wolves.
And off on the outside, that will gain about 4 or 5 there on the third down rush attack. That's the final timeout called by Oklahoma City. So they will get a shot here as the clock trickles out, and it'll be an opportunity for Anchorage to put up a 40-piece on the evening here. Joe Garfield to the left-hand side of the hash marks, swings it from left to right, keeps it within the sticks, and it is a 40-17 lead here for Anchorage.
Really complete game from the Wolves. Started a little slow for their liking, but just bouncing back and delivering their first 40-point game of the season.
So return from within the 5-yard line up to the 30. Good return there. It's going to be spotted at the 35 as Christian Borsigalupi. Another productive return.
Actually, my apology to Wolves. This is the third 40-point game of the season there. They can put up the points. They have the offense to do it. It's just about how well their running game is, and then how much you can get your passing game going if your running game has a little problems.
Into a bunch formation. Throws outside, that is caught, and up past the first down marker there is Christian Borsigalupi. And it's been productive at the back end of this second half. Pickler to throw again across the middle. That's caught by Nolan Pierce. He's up past the 30, and Pierce will be dumped at the 20-yard line. So Pickle's starting to get some of these plays out late in the game, some things to take into the future weeks. Oklahoma
Absolutely.
City, go for it.
Absolutely. Take them to the next game and then starting with these plays earlier in the game instead of running those run, pass, punt. They maybe come up with these plays in the first, second quarter.
Given it's projected to be their seventh loss of the campaign, Oklahoma City will watch this play here. It's caught on the outside, and Bovine has them inside the 10-yard line. Drop back by Pickler, throws end zone, and in and out of several different hands there as it ends up being incomplete as Gasker gets that deflection. And just a note, I mean, the seventh loss for Oklahoma City very likely pushes them outside of playoff contention, but they've got 3 of their last 4 games back here at Renegade Nation Stadium. They take on Florida next week, a bye the week after, then Carolina back here again, the Adams away, and then Vancouver back at this stadium in week 15 as that throw over the back of the end zone is incomplete. It'll be a 3rd and goal.
And now, the Wolves in the thick of the playoff race, every game is going to mean something, going to Fort Worth, playing the Toros at their stadium, and then coming back home to play Bossier City. Like it's going to be extremely important to try to get to your bye week with 2 more wins in this tough division.
Formation to the top of the screen here. They need 7 for another major score. Pickler to throw outside, in and out of hands, and somehow Anchorage haven't come away with that ball. It was Belmont again, who's already got one on the afternoon, and a 4th down and goal. And we'll have another crack at it here at Oklahoma City.
Yeah, just they've been getting their hands.
How did they not come up with that?
I know that somebody has to come down with it and then just like dive into the end zone. You want to fill your stat sheets up. You got to come down with it.
That's going to be a tough watch for Port Major Key in the film room on Monday morning. That will be brought up, I would imagine, by Ryan Davis and the scout crew. And Judah Dorgan will kick a minor score here to bring it back to a 20-point game.
Yeah, definitely. Things that you can like learn from, even being up by so much, you can still go and look at some film and look at opportunities that you had to get more points if you're Anchorage.
And another onside kick is recovered by Anchorage, and they'll get last shout at the football here. Coming up on this week's Monday Night Spectacular, the Chicago Warriors return from time off in a must-win situation against division rivals Minnesota, who are chasing DC and Detroit atop the East. The headline matchup of the week, plus Virtual Football Network Bingo, starts at 7 p.m. Eastern right here on the Virtual Football Network. It's Monday, I should clarify, as Anchorage enter the victory formation here. They will walk away with this one with a win. They again enter a sort of mixed bag final road stretch of the season. They've got 2 games on the road, 2 games back at home. And next week they will take on Fort Worth before they go to Bossier City. So both those teams are in fairly similar spots to they are. Fort Worth at 500. They've fallen behind 500 after a loss to Miami today. And Bossier City, I believe, got up on the other side of the game block earlier tonight. So they will be at 500 entering next week. A pair of interesting games for Anchorage, but they meanwhile are at 5-3. They've got a 2-win buffer entering the final 4 games of their season as they try and get themselves back into the playoff hunt for the first time in a stretch of 4, in fact, even longer. So much time has passed since this team has been in the playoffs, and they've put 1 foot forward here as they try and get themselves into the playoff hunt. They've won here at Renegade Nation Stadium. Anthony Ellison, your final takeaways from this game?
Just another dominant performance by the Wolves. I'm really impressed by their defensive approach, creating pressure. 3 interceptions today by their defense, and leading the run is osmosis with 113 yards with 31 carries, just bell cow. And then Baker adding 76 yards on the ground as well for them. Just a really good complete offense and an amazing running attack once again.
And they put themselves a step closer to their first winning record since all the way back in season 17 as the Queen City Corsairs. This one ends here. On behalf of myself, Jacob Clare, Anthony Ellison, and co-commentary, Mark Lopez and Keith Wheeler on stats, this ends here at Renegade Nation Stadium. Anchorage Wolves 40 to Oklahoma City Renegades 20.